you very much.
Is he?
Yeah, I think it's working now. You guys can hear me, right? Calling to order the Public Safety Committee meeting of Monday, July 21st, 2025, 5:30 in council chambers. Can I call for a motion for approval of minutes for meeting of June 16th, 2025?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. With that, I will open the meeting to the public. Anybody from the public who wants to come up the podium and address the committee about anything they want to. Seeing none, nothing online. We'll move on to departmental updates, starting with fire. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have our executive summary, so just a few other items worth mentioning. Excuse me. The highways picked up, as you might have seen in the media, with 10 calls up there so far this month. Some of them, again, have made the media, and one in particular happened 2 weeks ago tonight when a tractor-trailer unit caught fire in the southbound lanes in front of Century Hills or Concierge. In the trailer was about 60,000 pounds of flavored tofu, which, due to the fat content of the food and the flavoring, burned quite spectacularly. We quickly ran low on water, but were able to muscle a hydrant line down from the Century Hills parking lot. The next morning, and this made the news also, the next morning we were dispatched to Cliffside Condos to investigate a problem with a combination smoke and carbon monoxide detector. And when we entered the structure to do metering, we detected high cyanide levels. They were at the action level. We have cyanide, hydrogen cyanide in our meters, so we can monitor the air after fires because hydrogen cyanide is a byproduct of combustion. We got DEP involved, and after about a 3-hour investigation, found that the resident had used a large amount of long-lasting insecticide along the sliding glass door to the patio, the door track, the aluminum door track. 2 weeks ago, we were in the 90s, 95% humidity. The sun was really baking. Well, the sun baked that insecticide and released the cyanide in higher levels than anticipated. It just took a while to figure it out. So no injuries with this incident, and I think we evacuated a total of 8 people. We were able to find a nice, cool place for them. And only one minor injury at the tractor-trailer fire. Let's see, our total responses have leveled out somewhat, and we're just slightly ahead of last year at this point with 460 calls for service. And I stand by for questions.
So Chief, from month to month, different things jump out at me at different times from the reports, and this month I just kind of noticed the number of false alarms. It seems a little higher than in the past, but not outrageously so. But it is a big percentage of the calls for service. And I was wondering, are there recognized industry best practices, so to speak, or things that can be done to try to reduce that, whether it's at the intake level, people taking the 911 calls, or whatever, to try to reduce that use of resources?
We did have a series of false alarms at one of the large apartment complexes, which we've got the fire marshal's office involved in, and they're really working to knock that down. But also, I think you're also seeing a coding issue. When you have food anomalies, smoke detectors set off by cooking, there's no extension if it doesn't leave the pot or the stove. If it's just a minor amount of smoke and somebody opens the door to the hallway, and you find these mainly, and again, the apartment complexes, that door is open to the hallway, activating that smoke detector. we'll consider that a false alarm. And we get a lot of those. So I think you're seeing a combination of both, Bill. In the next few months, the NFIRS, which is National Fire Incident Reporting System, is being modified, renovated, whatever we want to call it, to EFIRS, electronic, or ENFIRS, Electronic National Fire Incident Reporting System. And there's going to be a lot more recoding. So I think we're going to see some of that go away, and there's going to be a lot more categories. We haven't gotten a peek at it yet, but we understand that Region 1, which includes Connecticut, is going to be the beta site for this. So we're looking forward to that in October.
Good.
And it'll take us maybe a month or two to roll that out.
It sounds like now that quote-unquote false alarm covers a wide range of things, because like what you described, a potential serious kitchen fire that sent smoke into a common area in an apartment building, that certainly warrants a call and an investigation. So false alarm seems a little bit of an imperfect description of that versus the alarm went off for
Yeah.
no reason at all. So I think what you're
So it-
describing though, but hopefully will help alleviate that. If you have more categories, you know, maybe the false alarm will have a more precise meaning, maybe a little bit more accurate.
And I hope so. We haven't seen it yet, so, but we understand there's going to be considerably more categories. So hopefully we can break that down a little bit better. Yeah, more to follow on that.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
You're
Nothing else.
welcome.
Any questions, Councilor?
Sure. Just thanks for all your response in 91. I mean, it's a lot of big burden on our town. Thanks for the guys getting out there and helping out and spending sometimes a couple hours out there at the scene, so that's a lot of time. Did that funding come back into play? Did they refund that
It did.
for you guys? Good,
It did, as of July 1st.
good, excellent.
And actually, the previous fiscal year, it was shut down for about 4 months.
Yep,
This fiscal year, I believe, was only shut down for 1 week.
wow,
So we were
Great.
able to get everything up till, I don't know, first June 20th, June 23rd, whatever that might be, right in there. So I think we might have lost out on 2 or 3 calls, and that was it.
great, thank you. I noticed also in your executive summary, a grip hoist you put into use. What's a grip hoist?
A grip hoist is a rescue tool. Figure it come along on steroids. Half-inch cable, a lot more portable than a rescue tool, than a come along. A lot more useful and a lot more power to it. So we're putting that in service for a lot of the rescues we're doing.
Thank you, that's all.
Good. Any other questions? Madam Mayor, you have a question?
So, the legislature was looking at establishing safety corridors this last session. Do you know if anything passed to establish those?
I haven't seen anything on that, and I haven't gotten a legislative update, which comes through the State Commission on Fire Protection and Control. I haven't gotten one for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the end of the session or what the delay is.
Yeah.
Next one I get, I'll look into it. If it's in there, I'll forward that email on.
Thank you. All set.
So moving on, emergency management. Back to you, Chief.
Okay. Let's see, last month we talked about redistributing the plan with the current call list and distribution list. That's been completed. We continue to work with the city of Middletown to streamline local communications as it pertains to emergencies, including river responses. City of Middletown has a very good technical rescue program. We're entering mutual aid agreements with that, trench rescue, confined space rescue. So if those happen to happen, we will be calling Middletown. We just had an educational program on their dive team and how we can support that for the river and the waterways. Let's see, with the recent heat wave, we opened the town cooling centers during normal business offices several times. We also monitored and prepared for some weather events, including the July 14th rainstorm that we were in a flash flood watch for. And last Tuesday, we met with and monitored a power loss to an Orchard Street neighborhood. I think there was about 80 customers without power that night. And last Tuesday, again, in the 90s with very high humidity. So we checked the homebound list and just made sure everybody was okay. I went out and met with the Eversource superintendent on site. And I met with him several times, and it was the same answer each time: we'll have it back on in an hour. It was off from about 5:30 to about 11. But we received no 911 calls on it. And let's see. And my last thing from emergency management is lastly on August 2nd, from about 9 a.m. till about noon, but I anticipate it ending sooner. We're conducting a mass casualty drill at the high school in cooperation with the Hartford Hospital EMT program. And let's see, EMS and PD, my deputy chief running it, has told me they've been invited. So I just received the drill outline earlier today, was reviewing it, forwarded it to the town manager, so he's in the loop. So that's where we're at with that.
Awesome. Council,
No questions here. Thank you for the report.
Council, you got
Just kind of a follow-up, fire and emergency services. I see that the key fobs are started, activated in your firehouses, the new key fob system.
Yes.
Yeah, we've talked about that in the past, so it's good to hear that it's get going. And
They've had to walk through at this point. I don't believe the bid's been awarded.
oh, okay, so it hasn't officially started yet.
So I would think there's going to have to be some design work with it. But we did, we have one of our senior people in the fire department who does this for a living, so we've put him in touch with Phil Sear and with Jim Vincetti. So they're working it out at this point.
Good use your personnel, perfect. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
any questions, Madam Mayor?
No, thank you.
I don't have any, so thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Moving on to ambulance. Chief, we'll start with you. And go to Dave.
We'll see.
I know.
We forget.
I know I deserve it.
Okay. We had 132 calls, 370 did 125, 371 did 5. I responded to 2 as EMS 1. And that was a total of 604 responses in 2025. 370 of them were, 370 had 558 of them. 371 had 38 of them, and I did 8. In the month of, sorry, my voice is shot today. Our summary for June, 372 passed inspections. So we are literally waiting for DMV to do its voodoo magic that it does to get tags. So we passed our OEMS inspection and the mechanical inspections. So we now are waiting for plates. We participated in a flag ceremony with the mayor. We had an EMT class that is actually just finished their class. They're doing their testing now. We have 8 that are going to be testing in 3.5 weeks. And we were working when we wrote this, we worked with Stryker, which is the stretcher, they make our stretchers, they make a lot of emergency service stuff. But there was a problem with one of our stretchers where it actually did not know where on earth it was in relation to things, and it would not load. And it was a new problem because it's a new design and it's a brand-new stretcher. So we've been working with them to resolve this because we were the first ones that it happened to. So that was interesting. Of course, Aetna went and has the same stretchers. So we've been passing all this information straight across the board so that they can avoid having the same problem. I had one stretcher, they have more than one. Then you can. Sure.
So looking at the town for the 12-month rolling look back, we finally have a year's worth of data that was provided through the PD. Justin, I believe Reynolds, has taken over that for us, and very thankful for that cooperation. So there was 4,028 calls in the last rolling 12 months, which puts it right around where I kind of anticipated it would be. So probably a little like plus or minus, like I would say 2 to 3% off of where we would normally be. So I don't think it was a significant increase or decrease. As far as Aetna is concerned, we've in 2025 responded to 1,773 calls with 1,270 transports. In June, we saw 282 responses with 179 transports with 93% on-time performance, an average response time of 6 minutes and 13 seconds. We did have 4 cardiac arrest responses in the month of June. Unfortunately, 4 of those were not transported. We did see an increase that we did see across the region with opiate-related emergencies. We have seen a very significant spike in the Hartford region for that. I'm not really sure of what the rationale or why that is, other than it's the summer months and potentially people are just kind of outside and more in public. We, both us and RHVA were able to celebrate National EMS Week during June 18th and June 24th, so very appreciative of all of our volunteers, our EMTs, and our paramedics. It is also Aetna's 80th birthday this month, so we are very excited about that. We are going to, when it's a little bit cooler and tolerable out, we're going to send out some invites to the public to help us celebrate and maybe eat some ice cream and just kind of show some folks some old pictures of the Grady's and all of the history that Aetna has with it. So we're very excited about that. We have 6 EMTs that just completed their field training process, and then just as they're finishing, we got 8 more coming in August to kind of supplement the folks that we're losing to medical school, PA school, et cetera, et cetera. We're excited for all those folks that are leaving, but sad to see them go, but also happy to see some new faces as well. We had 2 paramedics complete their precepting. We were very excited to be a part of Governor Lamont. He signed into effect the Connecticut Fallen Heroes Fund, which just basically expanded the Fallen Officers Fund to include EMT and firefighters as well, so EMTs, paramedics, and firefighters, where a lump sum of $100,000 would go to the surviving members of those members that are affected. That went into effect on July 1st. And then some of our poor crews were able to provide mutual aid coverage to the Travelers Championship. Very sad for them that they had to go and sit there and watch golf. That sounds like it was probably very strenuous for them. We did not do any transport out of there, but we were certainly there in case we were needed. So they got to sit up on like the 18th hole and watch people come in. I was like, oh, that sounds really horrible. I'm sorry that you had to do that. But that brings me to the end of my operations brief and executive summary, so we'll just stand by for questions.
None here. Thank you for the report.
Councilor Wheeler.
The opiate encounters, were they overdose, transport, or deceased, or?
I don't have the numbers right in front of me. My inkling is that most of them were transported. So typically when we see Narcan doses administered, about 90% of those patients are transported to the hospital. I don't know offhand of those 4 how many were. We did see a very significant increase, though, across the region with opiates. The Hartford Task Force that we participate with was sending out alerts, unfortunately, on a daily basis with kind of updates. It's not necessarily that there's a new strand of anything, though we tend to find that out about 3 weeks after the overdose happens, after they have time to kind of analyze the drug paraphernalia. But But again, something to keep an eye on and just be aware of. Certainly, if you do see somebody that has overdosed, best thing to do is just support their airway. And to get them on their side so they're not including their airway. If you're comfortable doing so, you can certainly provide, breaths if they're not breathing. But always what we teach now is if they're non-responsive and you're not sure if they're breathing, we don't even necessarily need you to check for a pulse anymore. We would rather you just go ahead and start compressions rather than withhold because you're not sure. Because if they did lose their, heart rhythm for any reason, that's going to give them the best chance of survival. And really the harm that you would cause by doing chest compressions is very minimal on somebody in that state. So
Thank you for that information. It's useful. Thanks.
you're welcome.
That's all.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I was just going to ask you, I think from a proportion standpoint, it looks to me like the proportion between the proportional responses between you guys are like staying the same between Rocky Hill and Etna responses. Pretty
Yeah.
consistent, I would say.
I think it's very it's definitely gotten to a point where it's plateaued in a good way.
Right.
So I think certainly the staffing solutions that Chief McGovern and her team came up with, I think, have certainly helped to bridge that. I'll let you talk about that as well. But certainly, I think the reason our responses have gone down is because there's more responses from our HVA, which is a good thing in the end.
Yep. Good. Any questions, Madam Mayor?
I just want to say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
I know. I'm not 80 though. I promise.
No.
I know.
Yeah, no. All right, thank you, guys. Moving on to police.
Hey, good evening. I'm Lieutenant Carter. I'm filling in for the chief tonight because he is out of state.
Welcome.
What's that?
Welcome.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'd like to refer you to the attached report, the executive summary. We had 2,303 calls for service. 740 of those calls were the non-officer initiated, so the emergency response calls. Two things I would like to note. We would like to congratulate dispatcher Christopher Campanelli, who is set to retire on August 1st after 24 years of service. He has been an invaluable asset to our police department. We're sad to see him go, but we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. The second thing is we filled the SRO position. Officer Brian Carroll was selected, and he will assume the role in August. Officer Carroll served as an SRO previously in the department he was at before us, so he has the knowledge and the experience to be successful in that role. So we're confident that he will be an asset to our school community. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions?
None here, thank you.
Please extend our thank you to Dispatcher Campanelli. That's,
Absolutely.
Awesome service that he did to our town. Thank you.
Good.
I noticed that the larcenies had jumped up last month. Any particular reason or area?
So typically, well, the area is, the majority of the area is 80 Town Line, where we have Walmart and Stop and Shop because of the I-91, right around the corner. And then typically we see a spike in the summer months, so.
I just want to thank you also for the traffic visibility post. I mean,
Absolutely.
We've been seeing a lot more cruisers out there and stopping cars, so thank you guys for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. Is that by design? Is there like a more strategic nature to like how you're deploying in
The
terms of visibility?
For little larcenies or for
No,
traffic?
no, for the traffic stuff.
For the traffic, so the patrol commander, Lieutenant Smith, he assigns traffic posts every month for each officer, every shift, each district. So the officers, they'll post up for about 30 minutes to an hour to conduct a traffic post and enforce any violations that they see. And that's continuous throughout the year. They change up their locations because, if you stay in one location, the drivers that are frequent to that area will, pick up on it. But yeah, we conduct traffic posts on every shift.
Yeah, maybe this will show up in the data eventually. Like when you do more of like, call it like, I think former chief used to call it like omnipresence or like something like that. Do you see like it reflected in the data eventually? Like you see less tickets being handed out, like warnings, and people just like change their behavior, I guess?
Well, I mean, it depends. You know, we do our best to get out there and stay visible and stop the cars that you know, are committing the violations. And then the officers use their discretion to enforce appropriately. But unfortunately, we can't be everywhere at once. We try to be as visible as possible, and we're going to continue to do our best with that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Madam Mayor?
No.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Moving on, Health District. We have Charlie, you're there. He's right there. The floor is all yours.
That you're muted. You're muted.
Oh, he's still muted. Charlie, you're muted, I'm told.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. So we're at the time of year where heat-related illnesses is probably up front, especially with the weather that we had last week and what we're anticipating coming into later this week. So assuring that people are properly hydrated and take cover when the heat of the day is probably highest on the list. Luckily, we've been seeing numbers of our tick-borne diseases and tick-borne encounters actually have gone down in here in the past few weeks. So that's a good thing. Keep up with that so that we can actually, see numbers for Lyme disease and such actually decline. So those hospital encounters for tick-borne have actually gone down. What we've seen in the state here in the last month has been some positive mosquitoes for West Nile virus. Fortunately, that's been down in the Fairfield County area. We have 2 sites within our health district, one in Newington, one in Weathersfield, to test for West Nile virus and mosquito-borne diseases. And luckily, so far, we have not had any positive mosquitoes that have been trapped and tested from those sites. So right now, I've got nothing but good news on that front. The only kind of cautionary tale that I have at this point is we have heard from CDC that numbers for COVID is starting to increase kind of around us. We haven't seen anything here in Connecticut as far as the numbers to increase from testing, but states surrounding us are starting to see numbers go up. So just remember that we do have a tendency to see an increase in the summertime and then an increase in the fall, winter time as well. So remember to take those precautions, wash your hands, cover your cough, stay home if you're sick, and get vaccinated if you're inclined to do so. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Councilor,
No questions here. Thank you for the report, Charlie.
any questions, Councilor Whale?
Charlie, is it a new COVID strand are they detecting, or is this the same one that's been around?
It's a new strain that they're reporting, but it is covered by the current vaccine. We don't have a lot of information on this at this point. Just got the information on the report today. Did send out our epidemiology report, our weekly report here a few minutes ago. So it was a late breaker, got some late information. So I encourage everybody to check that out. We will follow up with the COVID if we start to see cases come up.
Thank you.
Excellent. So I don't have any questions, Charlie, but thank you for all the hard work there, and thanks for the
All right.
report. Any questions?
Thank you.
Anybody
Y'all have a
else?
good evening.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Charlie. You're going to say something? Oh, he just said bye, I guess. Okay, yeah, he was like, I got to go. So no old business here on the agenda, no new business, no other business. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.